Beer Tech TV fam, what's good? Your boy Kenny back at it again with another video. This time we are going to be doing a non-spoiler review of the Black Panther movie. Let's check it out. So guys, what I decided to do for this video, I actually had to sit down and actually take notes when I woke up this morning so I can give you the most non-spoilery review I can, so that way I don't ramble off and give you potential spoilers. So I'm going to be reading off my handy dandy iPad right here. So if you see me looking off to the side, I'm not crazy. It's just that I don't have it in frame right now. Where can I start? So what I did for the first bullet, I said Black Panther as a movie depicted the journey of T'Challa, who's the protagonist of the movie, becoming king after the events of Captain America Civil War, where his father died in the crossfire of an event that happened in that movie. Now, if you guys haven't seen that movie, I recommend going on Netflix to go ahead and watch it, because it is streaming on Netflix for, I don't know, there's probably not that much time because Netflix likes to take stuff off. So go ahead and give that a watch on Netflix, just so you guys are aware what the little backstory is for this movie. Basically, the movie is about T'Challa ascending to the throne after his father's death. He's the king of Wakanda at this point, you know, by proxy, since his father passed away. And he is basically dealing with his rites of passage as a man, becoming a man, and also becoming king of the country of Wakanda. Yes, it's a fictional country. So in Wakanda actually has some secrets that his father may or may not have been harboring. You'll find out about that in the movie as well. But he goes through a lot of strife in the movie, internally as well and mentally, so you'll see that, you'll notice that. I want to say my favorite part about the film is that the director is Ryan Coogler. Yeah, I say he's my favorite part because I'm familiar with his work. If you haven't seen his previous two movies, Fruitvale Station and Creed, go check those out, because if you're like a movie buff like me, you want to get where his point of views are coming from and how he films. Like, now that I'm getting into, you know, cinematography and things like that, you kind of start to notice when you see directors of certain movies and you start to see their points of views, they kind of do similar things across all their movies. Lots of hints, things like that. So Creed being now one of my top 5 favorite movies now, you definitely want to give those previous 2 movies a shot, because Ryan Coogler is only 31 years old and each movie is better than the last every time. Now, with that said, his storytelling throughout this movie, even though it is a Marvel cinematic movie and is based on a comic, Ryan Coogler still kills it with his storytelling abilities in this one. Like, each character their backstory is told, nothing's drawn out, nothing takes away from any other character. Everybody plays their part across the movie with such a big diverse cast like this. And that's another thing that I appreciate, you know, production and especially Ryan Coogler for, because they gave everybody their time to shine throughout the movie, which was amazing. If I were to compare this to a previous big movie that we've all known and seen before, at least I hope, this movie runs parallel with Lion King. Yes, Lion King. And when you see the movie, you'll understand why, but the colors, the imagery, some of the plot, you'll see that it runs hand in hand parallel with Lion King, and it's dope the way they did it. And I was telling my friends last night, I felt like I was watching a superhero version of Lion King. It was pretty dope, because Lion King's literally my top 3 favorite Disney movie of all time. And standouts in this movie, of course, for me, which kind of shocked me, are Michael B. Jordan and Letitia Wright. Michael B. Jordan plays Eric Stevens, or Eric Killmonger, who is the antagonist of the movie, but you'll see in the movie that I say that I feel like he's not an antagonist, and you'll see why. Letitia Wright, who plays T'Challa's little sister Shuri, is a tech genius, and the representation that Shuri brought to screen and the accuracy of being a tech genius as an engineer for Wakanda, bar none. And her comedic relief throughout the movie was much needed, and it was right where it was supposed to be. She kind of stole some scenes for me, and I appreciated her for that. Now, with Michael B. Jordan's like literally killing the scene with his movies, every movie he's been in is literally better than the last. He literally made me feel for him in this movie. He made me want to cry. Like, I teared up at a couple scenes, I'm not gonna lie, because his acting is bar none, and he's killing it right now. He makes you feel for him. You see things from his perspective, and he's probably, like everyone else said, the best Marvel villain we've had to date. I did some research on what he did to prepare for this character, and he literally researched, Heath Ledger in his performance as the Joker from The Dark Knight, and he looked up Michael Fassbender's take on Magneto and the X-Men franchise. Good job. If I were to go for a character like Eric Killmonger from the comics, and I had to act it out, those would be the 2-point references I would go to as well. Smart thinking on his behalf, and he's a comic book buff as well. And I just found that out when he was interviewing for this movie too. Crazy. And the fact that, if you know Ryan Coogler's previous work, this isn't their first time directing and acting together in a movie. Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan have been hand in hand since Fruitvale Station and Creed. So they're pretty much like 3 for... Well, I meant to do 3 for 3 at this point, but they're a tag team, and I need them to keep making movies together because they kill it. Now, the real scene stealers of this movie as well are the women. I know I mentioned Shuri already, but the Dora Milaje, especially Okoye, played by Denai Guerrero, and Nakia, played by Lupita Nyong'o. Oh my god, I'm just gonna say hashtag, Black Girl Magic. I've never seen, I know everybody said that Wonder Woman was the movie of 2017 last year, but the Dora Milaje came through and said, now it's our turn. Let's do it. And they were depicted perfectly. They literally came through and cleaned up the mess. They legit came through boom, we in here. Let's show, they literally were like, okay, let's show the men how it's done. They weren't sidekicks in the movie, and especially Okoye. Okoye literally came through and was literally rescuing people left and right. And I'm just gonna leave that there. She's a beast in her own right, and you'll see why. Now, as far as the movie as a whole, the movie did not the movie was not drawn out. The imagery was beautiful. The colors were beautiful. There were, some slight CG instances that I was keen on, that I can notice that probably could have been a little bit refined, but other than that, it didn't bother me. The action was right where it was supposed to be. Like I said before, the comedic relief was right where it was supposed to be. I think one thing that impressed me the most is that the movie did not drag at all. It flowed so well. So well. It didn't drag. It just did so well by telling the plot. I was into it the whole time. And normally I have my instances, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, where I at least look at my phone if I get any notifications, just to, if there's a part that I feel like it's not, eye capturing, or if they're doing too much on the cinematography where they're not talking, you just see background and everything like that. But it was great. They kept my attention the whole time. It wasn't in my phone. I think, and then the people in my theater, we laughed at the same parts together. We sympathized at the same parts together, and it was just perfect, man. It was just the range of emotions I felt after seeing the movie. I didn't know whether I wanted to cry. I didn't know if I was just so proud I wanted to shout. I didn't know if I wanted to just yell for no reason, but it was just so great, man. It was just so great. And bigs up to the cast and the production, especially the costume designer Ruth Carter. She literally took her time on creating those costumes, and if she doesn't win an Oscar for best costume design next year, there's no way. Oh man, it was just great. The underlying message of the movie was great as well. You'll see that, and you'll be able to make your own interpretation on that. But there's underlying messages throughout the movie that are really great, I feel like. And another thing that I felt like was really important was the musical scoring. As you guys probably know, Kendrick Lamar and TDE, his record label, actually scored the soundtrack for the movie. And the music was playing throughout the movie in certain scoring, and it was great. And now the soundtrack makes a lot more sense. But what I want you guys to do is listen to the soundtrack before the movie and listen to it after, and then see what your perspective is on, and see if it makes sense to you afterwards. So that's what I did, and the soundtrack is perfect, man, for the movie. Perfect. And also, make sure you stay around. There's 2 post-credit scenes in the movie. Stay around after the credits as well. I think the best feeling was that it felt good after the movie, and me and my friend BLeeMedia, I'm gonna link his channel down below so you can see his non-spoiler reaction he's gonna do. He's literally my partner in crime with comics, movie reviews, and he'll give it to you straight, raw, and real. Me and him talked last night, and we're gonna go into detail on this in our discussion, but this movie was so needed, man. It felt good to see the presentation of black people on screen in a positive light, and it felt good to see it. It felt good to dress up for the movie. As you can see, my shirt. If you really want to know where I got this from, I'll link this down below as well. And also, by the way, they couldn't have picked a better movie to lead into Infinity War, and that's all I'm gonna say. So now I'm super excited for Infinity War in May, and it's gonna be great. I tried to keep this as non-spoilery as possible, guys. That's why it's kind of short and to the point. Me and my homeboy BLee are gonna do a discussion and spoiler review here soon. Be on the lookout for that. But if you have any questions, drop comments below, like, subscribe, let me know what you think, guys. But any questions, just let me know. And like I said, me and my homeboy BLeeMedia, we're gonna do an in-depth review discussion about the movies, and so be on the lookout for that as well. But guys, be great, have a good one, stay bearded.